Ranger fans, I'm Bryan Montgomery, joined today by head coach Bryan Jones. Jesuit heading into the second week of the season and their home opener on Thursday as part of the 2017 Jesuit Dallas Baseball Classic. Coach, a 3-3 week for the team to start the season. Definitely on Thursday you saw a little setback with those two opening games, but the team responded pretty nicely heading into Friday and definitely on Saturday picking up a big sweep.
Yes. And to get started on a season, obviously, the butterflies are there and the stomach's turning on, especially with a young group like we talked about last week. Felt like we could have came back with a better record, but we go back and look at the 3 losses that we did have, and you're talking a difference of 4 runs, I believe. Total, and it was just it was just a chance to where we had opportunities to score some runs with a hit here and a hit there, and then unfortunately we just weren't to that point at that time. And then our pitching did well, and we did battle back to have a good Saturday, which made the bus ride a little bit better on the way back.
And you mentioned that pitching. You look at the starters throughout that whole slate, only 2 returners, 4 new starting pitchers with their first varsity starts, and 2 of those starters picking up their first varsity wins, including a no-hitter for Miles Okamoto on Saturday, which I'm sure was a great surprise and a great accomplishment, of course, by him as a senior. But that confidence that gives you as the coach, seeing these players taking them out for their first varsity start and responding by really having some fantastic performances.
That's big, and again, I don't want to dwell on just the young and the inexperienced over and over again, but it is big for the first opening weekend for those guys to get their feet wet and to get a little bit of taste of it and to gain confidence more than anything. And that's that just comes from being successful. And for Miles, and that could be position guys or guys in the batting order as well. So it was huge for him, and I think it was big for the other guys. And just again to kind of get out and again get their feet wet and get some time, get some game experience. And hopefully it'll pay off and be a little bit better this weekend for us.
And then one thing specifically on Saturday, you mentioned early on in our conversation last week about how the team, you want to go back to that kind of that small ball scratching across some runs, and we really saw that happen on Saturday. A lot of just balls that kind of snuck through into the outfield, turned into doubles for the team, a lot of wild pitch, some heads-up running by the team, able to get some runs, especially in both of those double-digit run games on Saturday. And we saw some of the big hits, Jaden Woodson with a couple of triples. We saw Will Guzman get some balls out there in the outfield, but still to know that the team this early in the season has such the ability to have a heads-up running during some small ball situations has to have you feel confident.
And that's one of the things that we talk about being aggressive, and that's the makeup of this group. We're not going to have a multiple home run guy this year. I mean, that's probably plain and simple to the point right there. But and we talked about it after Friday night's game, and after Thursday night's game, and going into Friday that's the way that this team's makeup is going to be, and we're going to have to scratch and claw to score runs, and then hopefully our pitching does what they do and our defense backs them up. And again, that's kind of what small ball is all about. And it's being aggressive, and it's making the other guys play defense. And, that's the game plan that we're going to have to go with.
And then this week we turn our attention here to right field for the first home series of this entire season. And what a way to start it off with the 2007 Baseball Classic. An outstanding field. Bishop Lynch, Plano West, Lovejoy, Rockwall, just several of the 9 teams that are competing in this classic across 3 schools. What are some of the matchups that intrigue you from this 6-game schedule for the Rangers that begins on Thursday?
Well, the Plano West game is always going to be a big game. The Bishop Lynch game is always going to be a big game. But somebody that's new to this tournament this year is Forney. They made quite a big run last year, and I know that they got two main guys back that are on the mound. Now we play them on Saturday, so whether they're still in the rotation or not, I don't know. Lovejoy comes over here to open the game. Thursday night, and we also opened with Denton, which had a pretty good run last year. So there's no let up. There's definitely no let up, and there's some new people that we see on the schedule, definitely. But it's fun to always have that first game of the season here. And again, you're talking another thing to where these young guys are coming in, and now they're, they got their feet wet last weekend, but now they're playing at home, and the big thing for us is the guys get to break out the white uniforms and the all white, and they really like that, and that really pumps them up a little bit along with playing at home. So it's always fun to be at home. It's always fun to host this tournament. We always have a good crowd. We always have good teams that have come in. So really looking forward to it.
Well, Coach, thank you so much for joining us, and best of luck to you this week. Again, the Rangers hosting the 2017 Baseball Classic here at Right Field. First pitch is scheduled for 2 p.m. on Thursday as Jesuit Dallas takes on Denton. And, of course, be sure to keep it locked into JesuitRangers.org for all of your up-to-date Rangers info.